Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Sorcerer Kings in Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings by Parabellum Games, using the factions half of the latest 2-player starter set for the game. Big thanks to Parabellum Wargames today, who have made this video possible with their fantastic support. They've given us a discount affiliate code to use, which will get you 10% off your purchases from the Parabellum Wargames e-store, and also go a long way to help supporting the channel while you grab that discount for yourself as well. Leading the box set is a Sorcerer. Now this is a special edition Sorcerer model that you're going to get inside the box set. It's really cool actually. It has wands, and I know that sounds weird, but so few wizard models in so many different fantasy things use wands. I mean, Harry Potter is the only one I can think of where it's a main thing. You don't see them all that often. It's normally staves or just magic straight out of the hand, so that's cool to begin with. But this is a level 7 wizard. It's got a ranged barrage attack with barrage 3 and 14-inch range. It can choose to be either born from flame or born of air. What this does is this is going to give different benefits to particular units that have the same sort of benefit. For this particular set, I do recommend always going with the born of air, just because we have the Jinn that are from that particular type of elementalism. Now we've got the supremacy ability of Omnipotence. This warlord may target enemy regiments, a friendly regiment with a Born of Flame or Born of Air special rule, and currently in contact, to target those spells regardless of the spell's range or the spellcaster's line of sight. Supremacy ability is always considered to be active. Now this means the warlord can just target enemy regiments or friendly regiments in contact with, allowing you to get magic into combats when you normally wouldn't be able to. Now you do have a bunch of different rituals you can do, which is something special to the Sorcerer Kings. These can generally do a variety of different abilities across your army, and the Sorcerer does have quite a few different options of what it can do. What's really cool as well is the Arcane Conduit rule as well. Means at the end of each round, if this character is in range of an objective zone, add a ritual marker to a ritual that is currently being prepared. So not only does it have access to a wide variety of different rituals, it actually can get better at them when it's on objectives. Now the first unit we're going to talk about here are the Rajakur. These are your sort of mortal guardians of all your different wizards, and what's really cool is you can actually take a unit of these without taking up a slot in your warband, meaning that Sorcerer Kings can get 5 units in each of their warbands, as this is sort of like a bodyguard for your wizard. They're pretty decent with hardened 1 and shields there, along with their base defense of 2. They've got resolve 3, 4 wounds per stand, and they're a medium infantry unit. Now hardened's really cool because that means that they're just going to reduce a bunch of things coming in, like cleave and brutal impact or armor piercing, which is nice. But also on the offense, clash 2 there with 4 attacks per stand. They are going to do something, not an awful lot, but like I said, they're going to be an extra unit that's there. They're mortals. These are going to be what your characters generally have to join without particular different enhancements on them, so they are incredibly important to your force. Now moving on, we have the first of our elemental units, and this is the Ghouls. Ghouls are really fun. They've only got Clash 1, but they do pack out 7 attacks per stand, which is really nice. Now they, as well, like your Sorcerer, can be Born of Air or Born of Fire. This does mean that you're going to have to sort of pair them up generally with what you want them to work with, and like I said, for this particular box set you probably want to go with everything Born of Air. Now they are elemental, so a player in control of this regiment with a special rule activate a ritual command card in their previous draw step. This regiment will gain the following until the end of the round. This regiment may perform a free action during its activation. The free action follows all the normal rules for activation, so this is pretty cool. After you sort of activate your rituals and stuff like that, you can get some free actions on these things. They have the Unstoppable rule as well, meaning they can reroll failed charges, and Vanguard as well, meaning when they actually come on from reinforcements, they can do some extra movement as well. A light infantry unit with Vanguard is always welcome in a lot of different armies. It just gives you that early game board sort of presence and allows you to sort of push up the table, extending your deployment lines. Now we then get a dual kit in this box set as well, and this is for our different types of Jinn, and the first of these are the Steelheart Jinn. These are the combat focused ones. They've got 4 attacks each per stand with Clash of 3. They've got the elemental rules, and they have Born of Air standard. They can't take Born of Flame, and this is why I'm suggesting to make the Sorcerer and your goals Born of Air in this particular box set. They do have Cleave 2 and Impact 2 to go along with all those attacks, and Etheric Guidance as well means if an enemy regiment is in contact with this regiment and becomes the target of a spell from the Court of Air, the friendly spellcaster counts as having rolled an additional success. So once again, you're seeing all these sort of links between wanting to have this. Definitely when you start expanding your force into a larger game, you can bring in Born of Flame and you can bring in Born of Air, and you have sort of little power combos working together. But while you're playing such smaller games in 1,000 points, generally you'll want to be sticking to that one sort of different elementalism within your force. The alternate build option are the Windborn Djinn, and they do have 4 attacks each, though drop down to Clash 2, but have 5 wounds per stand, a defense of 3, resolve of 3. They've got that Born of Air standard with elemental and etheric marker as well, all those standard rules. But the big thing here is, of course, we've got ranged attacks. They still have Impact 2 when in combat, but the range is barrels through at a range of 20, which is rather far in Conquest. Armor Piercing 1 as well means these attacks can definitely start doing a bit more damage. They'll punch through armor a lot easier. They're a decent shooting unit, a medium brute unit. Now, I don't mind the Windborn Djinn, though I do feel, for me, I think the Steelheart Djinn are my favourite. I think that cleave in combat, along with the nice movement of 7 they are, is good. We have gotten other shooting options open up available in recent releases for the Sorcerer Kings, and I think you'll just be better with Steelheart Djinn for me. Now, the first thing we're going to look at adding to our force is another character. This opens up another sort of options of regiments, other things we can take, and this is going to be the Maharaja. I do like the Maharaja, Wizard 7, and the model is going to have the options of taking either Court of Air or Court of Fire, very similar to our Sorceress. We've also got Arcane Conduit there as well, which is the same we've talked about as the Sorcerer already. But his supremacy ability is Elemental Confluence, where when a friendly character stance performs an elemental rites action that adds ritual markers to a ritual that is currently being prepared, you can add 1 ritual marker to another ritual that is currently being prepared as well. So you can sort of double stack on your rituals, which is really nice. The model does have, like I said, a wide variety of different rituals as well, but something of note is your army can only contain 1 Maharaja of each court. These are sort of like the head honchos of all the different courts that you have. Now, if this character selects Court of Fire, then the character stand and any regiment they're attached to gain the Born of Flame special rule. Similarly, if the character stands Court of Air, they'll gain the Court of Air. This means that you actually can get your basic sort of mortal troops gain those Court of Fire or Court of Air rules, which is really nice. The model itself does have 5 attacks with a clash of 3, 5 wounds, defense and resolve 3 there as well, along with evasion 2, which is a nice little addition to make this character all that more survivable. Now, something we are going to want to pick up as well, like I said, your Rashikur are incredibly important to how the army works. You're going to want to grab an extra box of these to give your Maharaja something to join as well. And lastly, we're going to talk about the Mahut. I think this is an excellent piece, and it is currently on pre-order as we're making this video, but it is incredibly powerful. 20 wounds, 10 attacks with the Trample 5 rule as well, when it gets just 5 automatic hits, which is nice. Defense 3 with Resolve 3, and it's also got Hardened 1 there as well. Impact 5 on those hits with Brutal Impact 2, meaning it's going to neg armor by 2 on a Brutal Impact. It's got Cleave 1 on its basic attacks, and Line Breaker as well means stand with a special rule can ignore the Bastion draw event when performing a clash or duel, and ignore shields as well when resolving impact hits. Really cool stuff. This is just going to be a really powerful piece, a big nice centerpiece to add to your force as well. And what's cool is the Mahut can actually perform a free volley action during its activation, and may perform a free volley action even while in contact with an enemy regiment, as the dudes on top don't really need to fight. They can just shoot their bows at enemies at any time they want to. And so our force today is obviously going to be from the Sorcerer Kings, and we have spent a perfect 1,000 points out of the 1,000 points we've gone for available. our first warband is going to be led by our Sorcerer. This model is going to be from the Court of Winds, and then regiment-wise, we're going to have a unit of Rajaku with 3 stands, a leader and standard bearer, a unit of Ghouls with 3 stands, leader and standard bearer, but also the Born of Air rule. And then we've gone for the Steelheart Jinn with 3 stands and a leader in them as well. Our second warband is going to have our Maharaja, who will be our forces general, and he's got a Born of Air. Now, the Rajaku here as well are going to be in there with 3 stands, leader and standard bearer, and because the Maharaja will probably join them, they're going to have Born of Air if he decides to join them as well. We've also taken the Mahut, which is just a fantastic power piece to add to your force. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings content.